second stage, and probably the last map is going to be Mirage. Yes.
The normie maps,
Yes.
Dust 2, Inferno, Mirage.
It's
very
classic.
standard.
I think
Counter-Strike classic.
For me, when I talk about outsiders, I say their strength is there's no clear weak link on the team, right? But everyone has their moments, everyone contributes, but actually they haven't been playing that great individually so far this tournament. Like, yes, the stats are skewed a little bit because they won 2 best-of-1s. That put them into 2-0 bracket, and then they lose 2 best-of-3s, so they play more maps in which you lose. Obviously, you have worse stats when you lose the games, but it's actually Norbert and Fame who've been lagging the most behind, so they need everyone to step up individually, otherwise they're going to have a tough day against Falcons.
Yanko and Kassad, we're ready to get into this match for real. Can I push you for official predictions?
Outsiders.
Outsiders?
55-45 outsiders.
Okay, pretty close there, but my analyst desk are siding with outsiders. Everybody, this one is ready to go. Falcons versus outsiders. The winner books their ticket to Rio. The loser goes home. And to carry us through the match with their casting expertise, 2 legends of the game, it's Moses and Anders.
Wow, thank you so much, Paula. We do appreciate it. Game is going to be exciting, no doubt. I've been a heartbreaking one in many ways too, obviously. Someone is going to be making their way through, and someone is going to be in a lot of trouble. Starting on Dust 2, Jason's just at the door, so for me, for now, you have to deal with me for a minute. But luckily, I've got Twitch chat with me, so it's all good. We're running that experiment all at the same time. Outsiders going to be starting on the CT side, Falcons on the T side. Everything on the line. There's a clash of styles like I don't think we've really almost ever seen before at this stage. One of the slowest teams in Outsiders, and at least from what we saw yesterday, one of the most ridiculously aggressive teams in Falcons. So could be an interesting time. Ooh, MBK gonna start it up with a kill on Kicker. James gonna start to fall back a little bit, trying to control that aggression. Gets the reload. The blocks keep coming, and MBK eventually gets run down. So 3 versus 4 right here. And they are still up the catwalk. Maka down in the pit. Got to be a little bit careful. Nice little flick from Norbert, but still, they're in trouble. Flitz running out of bullet. He's also getting flanked now from the A bomb site itself. Has to spin around, and ultimately, what a sandwich to be inside of. Flitz going to end up going down, and Python with the final shot of the round. Falcons to win the opening pistol. That's a good job. That's a well done round. And look who it is. Jason, I'm excited to have you here.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
How are you doing?
I'm doing just lovely. Wow, game started a little bit earlier than we were told, didn't it?
It did.
1-0.
But that's how we keep it exciting, though. That I appreciate that. I think we need to throw some stuff like that in every once in a while. Otherwise, we're gonna get bored, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Maka's gonna have a scout. Gonna push into lower dark from Flitz.
What do you think about the stylistic difference between these two teams? How nuts is it going to be? Do you think Falcons can contain themselves, or are they just going to run into Outsiders blender?
What we saw the other day in the French matchup was a little bit crazy, and that makes me really worried that they are just going to eventually not be able to contain themselves to the slow style. A lot of pushes, a lot of aggression, a lot of wild plays. But who knows? Maybe they surprise us.
Yeah, I have that same fear. Hopefully that's a conversation I mean, I'm sure after what we saw yesterday between the 2 French teams, I'm sure MBK would have had a sit down with the rest of the team and sort of say, hey guys, you know, we made it, but...
We got away with this one. This is not going to be good enough for tomorrow. This is not going to be good enough for Outsiders.
And to some extent, I mean, some of the problems that we saw in Falcons game yesterday was mitigated by the fact that that on the other side, Heat were playing just as crazily in many ways, right? So you give a little, you take a little, it kind of all evens out. That's not going to be the case here, obviously.
No, it's really not. And I mean, I think the problem too is like that's not an issue you can just like fix overnight, right? That's not like a single conversation fix. But either way, nice 2-0 start here. They convert the second round, which was a struggle at times yesterday.
That's actually true. We saw a lot of that switching it around back and forth. So pretty good to see them be there with it nice and early on. Going to be a scout from us saved on the CT side, so they get to fight a little bit more with that. James picking it up. And it's kind of, I guess, from Falcons' point of view, Maybe it's nice to start on the T side, just so that they're not immediately subject to the slow style, because now they're dictating the pace.
Yeah, and maybe they get to kind of dictate things, and you get to be a little bit aggressive, but also more than anything, you get to kind of adjust yourself to the fact that you're playing in a high-pressure game. You kind of, you know, you're always going to have nerves when you start this one, when you know the entire major's on the line. That's probably been the conversation amongst the team the whole day. Is everyone full focus? Everyone be prepared. Nobody forget anything. Nobody miss any smokes. We're qualifying for the major today. That's what we're after. And that's going to introduce a lot of pressure into the team, at least in the early going. So they get to kind of settle down. Well, they get to dictate the pace of the action.
Nice stack on the B bomb side, trying to just preempt it. This could definitely work out, right? Especially with the couple of upgraded pistols there, the FAMAS, the Scout. If they just, you know, threw caution to the wind and decided to rush for it, maybe there would be something here. They're checking middle, holding outside. Haji, definitely one of the really powerful players that we saw on Falcons last time around.
Ooh, that's a scary scout. That might actually scare them away from the B-bomb site. One piece of utility going to force Fame into the open, but he narrowly avoids it. So that's 2 players spotted at the B-bomb site. I think now they've got to be a little bit worried, or at least, I mean, do exactly what they're doing, which is say, you know what, let's at least check towards Catwalk. Let's see what we're going to get over at the A-bomb site. We know it's a low buy, potential for a stack, and they're going to find it completely clean. So good decisions from Falcons. They're going to go up 3-0.
Yeah, that's the kind of good decision-making that we need to see a lot more for them to survive this game. I don't think there's any doubt that Outsiders are going to be the favorites here, so nice to see them double check, triple check, make sure you're not running into a stack. Oh, that's just a USP. I don't even know how that works. He just double dinked him instantly.
Yeah, well, take the win, Kicker. Why not? Take the AK-47 as well. It's a huge find for the next round. Actually, I mean, pretty decent weaponry for a team like Outsiders that prioritizes their economy so much. This is, I mean, having an AK-47 and a FAMAS, like 2 rifles, you don't have to buy into the next round. James can even choose to keep the Scout if he wants to be a little bit risky.
True.
This isn't the worst thing in the world.
Maybe now's a good time to talk about a little bit, because now that we've here throughout the last couple of days and today, we've had actual eliminations happening where people, you know, just can't qualify anymore. They're out.
That's a bummer. It hit the lip of the door.
Yeah, that sucks, doesn't it?
Yep.
Seeing some of the players in the hotel after they've had that final loss is a real sobering experience. Actually, that can be really hard. You know, there's a lot of memes on the internet, make a lot of fun, but for some of these guys, it's real heartbreaking. Yeah,
it is. We mentioned it yesterday. We both kind of talked about it. It's probably the most tears we've ever seen for teams qualifying for a major, and we've been at most of the majors. So I mean, it's been it's been pretty. I don't want to say like weird or odd or anything like that, but you know, a lot of these guys, this means a lot to them. Obviously, a tough affair. Some happy tears as well, though.
Happy tears as well. That's absolutely true. Also, interesting coming through the whole pandemic era. It's one of those things you just kind of forget a little bit about. You forget how much is on the line for some of the players. So
sure,
really exciting stuff. Here we go. Outsiders are back with rifles. Their first real shot. That looked like a really awkward timing for a duck, but Jane will still pick up the opening kill on Misuta, trying to enter in there. And Python, I don't know what he was checking, but certainly wasn't Fame. That seemed like he was running, kind of circling away for a bit there. 2 kills here for Outsiders versus the 0 of Falcons. They wanted to see if they could get that uppercut attacking the B-bomb site. Not an unreasonable proposition, but it doesn't work.
No, not at all. It gets completely shut down. Nice shot from James to open things up. He sees it coming, even has the preemptive smoke to stop the Molotov surely in the back of the platform. As you mentioned, Python without a hard clear towards Car just gets taken down. NBK's in middle. Him and Maka have everything to do, 2 versus 5. It's a phenomenal first gun round for Outsiders so far, so any damage they can do, but Norbert is going to say, I have so many options available. And Maka's going to get dropped. Nice double headshot from Kicker.
Yeah, stolen AK from the previous round, comes back to haunt them right away. So that's something. They pick up another AK still on top of it, getting rid of the FAMAS. So 3-1, and that's a powerful way to get started here. That seems like almost like an out of spawn kind of call, where you're like, let's, you know, maybe they've watched demos, maybe they've seen that Outsiders sometimes are a little bit weaker on the B-bomb side, so they're like, let's test that right away. Let's see if we can exploit that, but they could not. So, yeah, back to the last bit of money being spent here from the T side now.
Last bit of money. Ooh, a challenge. Mako wants a piece of it. And Mako is perhaps the biggest aggressor. Oh, missed shot. That's an odd little shoulder peek. Jame into a new position, not gonna miss twice. Fame does go down, and there goes Jame. Nice hit. Falcon said, you know, we see something we like in this hit, we're gonna go for it twice in a row, even despite the fact that it didn't work whatsoever.
I was gonna say, that actually vindicates a lot of the last round that looked a little bit silly, but now you think, okay, there was some method to it. They actually had some sort of understanding of what's going on. kill there from Norbert. I'd be shocked if Outsiders went for this one.
I'd be shocked if they didn't. It was almost be. I know that's kind of crazy to say with Outsiders, but you have a 3-on-3. I mean, the bomb just got planted. You have plenty of time. You have plenty of utility, and now you're gonna have Norbert on the flank. I feel like this has to be a go for this situation.
You're absolutely right. They are gonna go for it. I just assumed it was Outsiders. They were definitely gonna save right away. I'm on that same meme boat as everybody else, but here we go. Oh, trying to get through. Marco and MBK, both blind shots to take down Norbert and Flit. Norbert came through upper dark, and that's it. Kicker has to run out of there. They shut that down really quickly, in spite of the flashbang, so that is going to be a little bit upsetting, but for Falcons, it's great news.
Yeah, that's well done. That's a good hold into the B-bomb site. All that utility doesn't do anything for Outsiders to be able to get in. I think part of the reason, too, that motivates them to go for it as well, remember they just had a very clean round with all 5 players surviving, and they'd saved 2 rifles going into the first gun round as well, so they had a ton of extra cash behind them. It's not like going for that was going to break the economy. But you could see the strength once you get into that B-bomb site. Really cool call from Falcons to go back into the B hit, the timing play.
Yeah, worth thinking about sometimes when we talk about rounds that don't work out. That from a player's or an in-game leader's perspective, they're probably looking at very different things to what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So something that looks like a really broken round might actually be a round in which they confirm some details that make them say, actually, still a good idea. Let's keep doing it. Could be hard to judge sometimes from the outside, given that we can't read their minds yet, anyway.
Yet.
We'll get there.
The technology's coming.
I'm sure it is. I don't see how that could ever be put to bad use either, so I'm sure we should develop that right away.
We should get a widespread. Everyone should have it. It almost looks like they want to line up for a mid to B split. They're throwing out some utility, looking for some kind of a reaction off of it in middle. Kickert sees nothing. So him and Jame are going to sink back towards the A bomb site. Falcons still have 2 smokes to use. Plenty of flashbangs. This time there's no AWP in the B bomb site as well. It's Flit and Fame to defend.
They're being very cautious here on the Falcon side. I like this. Going as a group of 4 down the middle. Obviously got to be careful and check that catwalk and long position every once in a while. But look at this. Quick smoke up towards CT spawn. Kicker's going to get one of the sprays through, but still, if they can't hold the B-bomb side, it might not matter at all. Flit with a good hold to take down one of them, and Fame finally shot down, but it might be a little bit too late here. 2 versus 4, and Flit is just making himself hard to find in that corner. He knew eventually someone was going to get to him. Marco missing a shot in the middle, and he might not get a chance to miss another one here. A M4 moving in on top. RG going to be out of the round, and Marco's going to fall as well. So 2 casualties on Outsiders. And they defend that mid to B, which honestly, in my opinion, looked like it was almost perfectly timed. They almost could have had it, but between Kickert in the smoke and Flit inside of the bomb site, that really slowed it down.
And they still probably could have recovered it. I think Mako had to hit that shot on the cross. Although if Outsiders did their research knowing Dust2 was going to come into this series today, they would have seen Mako doing that a lot on the mid to B splits yesterday. He was the guy they left behind with the AWP to cut off the flankers trying to jump through the smoke. Timeouts taken from Outsiders after they win their first. This is well handled. I'll tell you who looks on point, at least in these first 6 rounds, is Kickert.
Yeah,
the double dink with that USP that you kind of mentioned, but also the AK-47 has been extremely accurate for him.
I feel like whenever he's playing well, this team just looks so much more interesting. He really can be quite the mechanical player as well, so kind of worth looking out for, isn't it? Obviously, Flit is someone that we kind of like to highlight too at times.
Yeah, Flit, I think, obviously, James, AWP, not always like the most impactful, not exactly a playmaking opera, but I mean, when he has to, when he's in those situations, he can land a great sequence of shots.
Smoke down in that long cave, but I mean, when you've got pistols, you might just use that as a ramp to try and get out. Gonna be smoking the corner as well, flashing their way over and getting a bit close with the pistols. Norbert will line up a headshot, and I think smartly Outsiders deciding, what is the point even of fighting for long when they don't have anything to really fight with?
That's an interesting protocol as well. You sprayed one down towards middle, and then they will, it's kind of an old school response, I guess, is, you know, seeing long presence from the defense and then the T side kind of bum rushing out middle as fast as possible. Interesting seeing Jame and Norbert both immediately drop down and go check for that mid to B split. With at least the middle portion of it. Back to the B bomb site for Falcons. NBK leading the way down lower dark, making sure nobody's pushed up, but this should pretty much be a done round. There's one smoke, just pistols, not even any armor.
Now, in yesterday's game against Heat, I would have said it might not be done around at all, but I agree with you this time, Jason.
Yeah, I think yesterday we learned that there was nothing decided. Nothing decided at any one point. Teams were really scrappy. This one should be just fine, though. These are the rounds I feel like Outsiders against Falcons won't make a whole lot of mistakes.
Yeah, you can see how super careful they're being. They're really far back on the map. They're trying to make themselves as hard to find as possible. If you want to swing for the fight here, you have to challenge with the Deagle at that range. They are trying to jump for each other, trying to set up the Deagle a little bit if they can, but yeah, Outsiders playing this super smartly, and this is what we kind of associate with their name in some sense. And Falcons are still trying to optimize every last bit of the round here, which I don't really mind. I mean, again, if you can find 1 or 2 kills, even if it's real late in the last 10 seconds, still counts. So just keep that up. But it is going to be 3-4. Slightly favoring Falcons, but the money started to build up now for the CTs. A little bit of an issue, perhaps.
Yeah, it's definitely an issue, and it's definitely going to be a problem moving forward. We'll see how Falcons does in this round. If they can take some guns away, maybe less so. But James has plenty of cash for the AWP, and that's going to be a tough weapon to go against now. The B-hit has worked once, it's failed once. Long hit didn't really go too successfully. We're going to try it again. Maka leading the way, AK-47 in hand. No one's swinging around the corner. Outsiders doesn't fully want to challenge it except for some late utility. Now Norbert's made it into the pit. He's going to have the opening kill. But up catwalk we go, and it's right towards James AWP.
Well, they want to go really fast at it, but James not going to miss that shot. Good opportunity there, and they got completely stalled out. Also, no wall of smokes, no flashbangs over the wall or anything else like that. So one thing is for James did the shot, maybe he missed it, but even then, the secondary player there would kick it down on long of the AK-47. He was always going to have at least a decent shot at taking a fight with the AK.
I think that fast-paced attack on catwalk is banking on the fact that the CT side would put 2 to 3 players defending long. I don't think they realized that Norbert got in towards pit and then just did it on his own. He handled business on his own. So coming back, you had both Kickert and James to deal with. It's nice, though. It's nice that Falcons is playing really fast right now to make up for second half.
True. Oh, good shot. Misucha, I think, one of them... Oh my God, he's going to keep doing it. Taking down Fame as well. And much of this defense gone back into a 2-on-2, although the help is with Outsiders. They should have never been close to this. Haji almost going to be taken down. James, this is absolutely obscene. Misuta, can he control himself, or does he want to go for it? He's about to get shot in the back and instead gets no scope. There's Norbert with the final shot of the round. Barely saving Outsiders, but what an absolutely scary moment. Yeah. Misuta, I mean, he really was mechanically insane yesterday as well.
Yeah, and we know he likes to be aggressive. We know he likes to take space. He likes to get in your face also. So, I mean, that's a great round. But we just kind of touched on the fact that those kind of 5-on-2 situations, Outsiders were probably going to be just fine in them. This is just weird. Kicker, I guess, is understandable. Flit can't find an easy kill. He has some good shots as well. You got to give credit over to Falcons, but man, did that almost disappear. I don't know what James was thinking. He sort of just like wandered up towards the window like he wasn't going to get challenged in any meaningful way.
Yeah,
That was maybe a lazy round from Outsiders.
It feels like it. It feels like one of those rounds where they were so secure in their victory already that they just kind of fell asleep a tiny bit. So unfortunate stuff. That's going to cost them a fair bit. Now, fortunately for them, though, not enough money here on the Falcon side to put together a full buy. But again, caught sleeping. What is going on? Kickert fighting back, but some real hiccups here in the game for Outsiders. Yeah, Haji could walk in. He could find the kill on Flit. He's just with his back turned. If the smoke fades, he's in trouble.
He's going to hear the rotation away, though. Everyone's attention out towards long. Can Flit actually find this player in middle? That would be huge. And no, it's Haji to find the frag. But now he's giving over the information. James has to adjust and watch towards catwalk. Oh, he catches him just before he gets around the corner. Now they've got a retake scenario.
Yeah, they set themselves up nicely once again. They're very lucky to be in this 2 versus 3. This could have just as well been a 4-on-3 going the other way in favor of Falcons, especially with that catwalk control. That would have been a bit of a nightmare. Masuta trying to get there again, fairly aggressive, but in this case, I don't really mind it. You can't just stay on the bomb side. Now it's on NBK, alone in a 1 versus 3, and he's going to get boosted on immediately. James able to take him down, and a good retake. This time a little bit more solid, as Outsiders will find a 5th round.
Yeah, but still interesting, a little head-scratching seeing Norbert just with utility out of long and not even realizing the potential for someone to come charging at him. So, yeah. You know, there's a couple, as you mentioned, hiccups in these past 2 rounds with falling asleep at the wheel, perhaps. I mean, I guess it's a good time for it, especially when you win them out at the end of the day early on, and just be like, okay, everyone start paying attention again.
Yeah, I guess it's better to have the wake-up call now. Hopefully that is what it is to Outsiders. Yeah. They're like, oh, wait a minute. And again, it is the aggressive nature of French Counter-Strike that we saw yesterday. It really can catch you off guard, even if you had the conversation. I guess that's maybe what they're experiencing too. I'd be really shocked if they can't adjust to it. They must have been watching that game yesterday, thinking,
Surely.
what is this madness we're about to get thrown into?
Yeah, how do we prepare for this? Oh, James gonna back away. Doesn't want the fight towards lower dark, but he has the information that Masuta is there. Flit is gonna shift in towards the B bomb site to join up with Fame. Some shuffling on the defense as James goes towards middle, towards CT spawn to maybe try and find a pick in that position. How aggressive does he want to be? Does he want to peek in towards the double door crack?
Alright, well, they're getting their catwalk control slowly. Gotta be a little bit careful here. Kicker gonna be there to actually try and deny it as James will find Python down the middle. That's unfortunate for Falcons, who again have kind of been running out of money a little bit. Maka is down to half health behind the Molotov. And they're getting denied a lot here in the middle and on catwalk both.
The defense is backed off now away from middle after that utility dump, so I think we're falling into another mid to B split. NBK is going to join up with Haji in upper dark, but they need some opening kills. Kicker again, going to try to, I thought he was going to smoke the doors from deep. When does Flit turn and address? Oh, Kicker comes right through. Maka's there for the trade, but he can't really be the aggressor with the op, so it's got to be these B players.
Yeah, they have a crossfire and it's been broken up once. This time Maka gonna come in from the middle. Flit is ready. He knows that he's up there somewhere. Gotta be real careful. He dodges the AWP bullet. He needs some backup. Where is it coming? On the other side, Haji's so low on health that he also doesn't just want to run under the bomb site any longer. But flashbang. I think it actually flashed Flit as well, but it all works out in the end. And shout out to Kickard for underhanding that smoke to extend it so that he could dodge the AWP marker in the first place. That is absolutely sick.
Yeah, and a very swift headshot as well. Not a quick enough reaction from Falcons. I like to play from Flit inside the B bomb site, just tucking himself small. Two different players that he's got to deal with. That's an awkward scenario that you can easily screw up. He does a great job delaying and finding another kill at the end of the day. The final kill and a timeout taken this time by Falcons as they're stuck on just 4 rounds.
It's actually really weird how that smoke that goes into CT spawn that the T's throw in for the B split. I feel like almost no matter how you throw that kind of smoke that Kicker did from the CT side, it just does something really strange to the T's perception of where they're supposed to be aiming. Even, I mean, this one worked out really well for Marcus' position, but just I've seen so many rounds like this where people just kind of like, they just intuitively throw smoke. They don't even know necessarily where it's landing. It's just like a smoke, but it makes the existing smoke so much thicker that it's really hard to read on the T side who's by where they're even coming through, you know?
Yeah.
It's a small little thing that I've seen it happen a couple of times.
Deep smoke for the CT side, perhaps to just show as if there's going to be some aggression towards lower dark. Might slow Falcons down, might make them second guess. It's a 5-round run for Outsiders. And quite the streak. James is all the way up at about $12,000 in the bank, just under it. He's going to go for a deep peek in middle. The double door angle. Ooh, he sees one, flicks up, doesn't land.
But James is having himself a bit of a game, isn't he? 10-3, and you know he hasn't even really had to save the AWP much at all anyway. So he's got so much money
here though. Look at this pushing up, and there's already 4 players that have gotten past his vision. If yeah, that Molotov is going to have to come in fast. I'm almost surprised he's not taking a deeper angle.
Surely, if James gets contacted here, the Molotov's going to be late, right? There's no way it's going to be here in time. Maybe now he throws it based on the grenades. Yeah, that makes sense. But if they ran up with Tech9s to catch him, then they just run through the whole Molotov as well.
Absolutely.
NBK trying to lead the charge, and what a headshot it is to bring down James. Kick it though, swiftly back in action. And he's going to take a couple of kills. Flit there to help on out. And now it's Maka and Haji. The Eagle right on top. Flit lucky to be alive on that one. And Maka on his own. Not much he could do in this position. Kickit will drop him for a 3rd kill. That's the 2 A defenders right now. Kickit and James doing a fine job. It's a good reason to want to go B.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, I mentioned it earlier. Kickit, even in the first just 4 rounds, you could tell he was on point today. He had some very crisp headshots in the early going that was just like, oh God, okay, this is a good game from him. And obviously pick up pieces when James misses and goes down. That's a huge save off the NBK opening kill. Into a 3-round lead now for round 12.
Orb in the hands of Maka. Was it on Dust 2 that he went missing completely for the first, you know, hour of that game yesterday, the third map, I think it was.
I think so. Oh, that's a good boost.
Nice.
Nicely done.
He made up for it in the end marker. He came back and they were playing in overtime and everything else, but for the first half of Dust 2 yesterday, he was really completely mentally gone. So, but this boost out long is going to give them the opening. Good stuff.
He's not absent in this game so far. 7 kills. Not too shabby. Highest on the team is 8. That's Haji.
Yeah, they'll take it. Look at this. Look at the timing on this. Not just because of the kill here for Kicker, but because they're pushing double into upper dark. And Falcons have been waiting for a long time here. Fame, wow. That's very bold.
Yeah, they're coming right back at him now. He's in trouble.
Yeah.
Footstep made. Footstep made. He still got the kill. Now swings, and they're going to push Maka. Double kill. Curious decision. I would like to know the idea behind that. I guess maybe he's like, I don't want to give up my position. There's a guy in middle probably coming to you. Just be ready. That's all I can think of. Bomb is dropped.
Yeah, nicely done. Gonna be taking down Python. I think he was using the same approach, the same logic that Sadicus is using to drive cars, as you explained to us yesterday. How you're a little bit more alert if things are a little bit more exciting.
He does have a very weird view of that, doesn't he?
That's good. I love that.
I was scratching my head on that one.
Yeah, interesting times. It certainly made it more excitement. I bet he was more alert because that was I mean, that's the kind of position where if you come back and instead you get instant wrecked by the AK on the other side, and you're like, oh, cool, and then we just opened up the B bomb site for absolutely no reason. Haji's inside. Time has run out, so he had better stay alive, and he won't. Bane will take him down. 8-4, and things are trending in a bad direction for the Falcons team.
Yeah, this is relentless. 7 rounds in a row now. Outsiders haven't had any issue. And I mean, Kickert is just on point. Every time someone shows up on a screen, he's getting a headshot. He had the opening kill in this round off the catwalk. That was a thing of beauty. Opened up all that aggression in towards lower dark. I think one of the other things, you asked me like stylistically how these two teams are going to kind of clash. I still feel, it feels like Falcons are playing like they're kind of in like the older meta where it's like a little bit like default slow pace, and then you kind of line up into like one big hit.
Yeah.
They're not having like a lot of those individual lurkers across the map. People being activated to take control and kind of make a play on their own, you know, within the team framework. They're still kind of playing, it feels like that kind of heavy execute style, massive amounts of body up catwalk constantly, massive mid to B splits, B explosions. I have to think they're going to go back to that B explosion at some point, since they ran it 2 rounds in a row and got an early round off of it.
Yeah, you wonder to some extent. I mean, that could be like something about the longevity of the team. You know, if they've had time to really put that style together. I feel like the kind of style that we're seeing in the current sort of top 10, you know, at least in the European scene and everything else, it feels like that is the upkeep on doing that style is so high. You have to spend so much time prepping, and it's just crazy. James down in lower dark, very aggressive with the AWP, and Kickert is there to help him out. So beautiful start, double kill for each of them. Python out here with the Deagle, hoping for some highlights.
Yeah, get a frag movie going.
Start to build it in your mind. That's where it all starts. You know, you have to sort of envision all the shots. You probably didn't envision that at all.
No, that wasn't in the vision. That wasn't.
That's usually how my frag movies go as well. I'm like, yeah.
That wasn't on the vision board. Nobody's posting that one up. 5-round lead. And for outsiders, obviously, with 2 rounds remaining in the half, there's going to be absolutely no problem buying whatever they could possibly want. So they're living the dream right now. They're super comfortable.
Yeah, they're in an unbelievable position, actually. Managed to adjust very nicely. We said earlier, made some wake-up calls for them, maybe some of the aggression coming out. Maybe they got caught a little bit both in the B and on long at times. That might be again here. Oh, it's a very awkward lineup. There's no way they could have known, but Norbert was almost tracking Kickert. He couldn't get out from the shadow of Norbert behind there. That's really sad. And a big opening, though, for Falcons. Marker's going to be there to take down Flit, and this should be a round that you win 100% of the time. Now, you obviously want to see them here, Falcons. Plant the bomb and not challenge. Find Marker in the middle. He's really far away. That's not a problem, but this kind of stuff is exactly what I don't want to see. Keep it cool. Famous here. He gets the headshot onto Haji as well. I mean, he knows where he's coming from, but Marker's going to be able to find him and save the day. If he would have made it around the corner, that could have been bomb defuse.
I was going to say, what a bold, crazy play from Maka to go for the mid-peak and not going towards catwalk. You could see he never even considered it, because if he misses that shot, the round's just over. You have no chance of stopping it. I don't think he misses that shot, but like, even if he like, maybe he just even spotted, maybe if the timing's just off, he just loses.
I know, listen, Jason, I know the coaches are not allowed to interfere or like make any reactions or anything, But if they had, you know, like electrical blade bracelets, could they push a button to zap them?
Yeah,
In an afterpart, you know?
absolutely.
They'd be like, oh, oh yeah, that's right. We're supposed
That's
to.
like the future of Scoots' do not peek bat. It's like instead you just have the electrical shock treatment.
I think that should be allowed. Some teams. For Falcons.
Falcons specifically.
It's so crazy. Oh,
Either way, what an attempt at a clutch by Fame. That's some disgusting shots. It shouldn't even have gotten that close.
no, it shouldn't.
You want to talk about having a wake-up call? I think that's one of them for Falcons when it's like, oh, no matter how far up ahead we are in player count, no matter how far up we are in terms of positioning and map control, we can't really make any mistakes. We can't give anything over. Final round of the first half. For those of you chilling at home with 2 monitors or able to have a second tab open, there's also a very awesome game going on in the Americas region for the Road to Rio there. Imperial with Fallen and Fur taking on Complexity.
What an insane game.
And that, too, is for a spot in the Rio Major. The losing team is eliminated from that one. The final spot to give away at the Americas RMR, or the Americas Road to Rio.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy stuff happening. Round number 15, and good start as they take down Flit here. Falcons, they need the 6th round a lot right now. Norbert's going to be swinging in for that one, ready for Masuta, but still not able to take him down. He had the right idea. Some backup is coming, but it would have been so much better if Norbert would have stayed alive, you know, maybe through 2 or 3 seconds longer here. 3 versus 4 in the afterpart, and double on Camwalk, 1 in CT spawn. What a nice run boost. That's really cool. 8 seconds on the clock. Yeah, you got to be really careful right here. Oh no!
Over.
That's it. It's done. The Molotov saves the round, and 10 on the board of Outsiders for the end of the half. That's a shocking way to lose that final round. We'll see if Falcons have the mental strength to recover in the second half. It is coming up right after the break.
Hey Future Pros! I have a quick and easy B-side door smoke on Dust 2 for you, so listen up. To throw the smoke, position yourself next to this big stone beam. Crouch down and aim within the gap in the sky. Then stand and throw the smoke. Super easy, super effective, should help you get into B.
Flames and gets caught off as the flash starts to fade. Shush, backside, forced away, 3 on 2 as Fiku domes one back in towards mid-down with a responsive. OG trying to make a lot of noise and raise hell here towards the B site. Nexa needs to be the damage dealer though, high HP, and he finds Shush on a decent spray.
Just a flash around the corner, Stown starting to retreat. He does have an incendiary, this could cancel the bomb.
It's on the back of Nexa here. Flames won't die trying to plant that bomb itself, which will provide support with the utility. Nice nade. But Stown has repositioned all the way back towards ladder room. He's going for the rotation here.
Excellent composure in this round from OG. Fiku makes it so winnable with that double entry out from mid to help the B-side players get up to the stairs. And now for Stown, pressure starts residing on him to get the clutch together.
They have no idea that this backstab's inbound. We'll start to consider it soon. Yes, Flames will check it. Gets killed off anyway, 1-on-1. Nexa stands for the 2K, Stown stands for the 3. Looks around, checks the side. Oh, barely loses the fight. 8 HP for Nexa, but keeping OG in it at 5-5.
So this is, I believe, the third clutch that Nexa has won over the course of this series. And it's getting a little bit wild, the idea that your in-game leader is stepping up to the fold in these 1vx situations and consistently coming out on top. Probably shows that there needs to be more support around.
We're back. Somebody's going to be qualifying. We're in the... Wow. Okay.
Did he just punch the, yeah.
He did. He's really back. He's trying up.
He was trying to make a meme, and then he just completely...
And he made a meme.
Yeah, he completely knocked
Just not the one that he was expecting, but that's okay. We'll roll with it anyway. It's okay. Fighting the camera people now. It's a 10-5 first half in favor of Outsiders. That's great news for them. Falcons, they could have had more. They kind of messed up a little bit at the end here, but they're still in it. They can still obviously win this map, but they need a strong start here in the second half. And now Outsiders are going to be, you know, dictating the pace of this game.
And this is, I think, where it's going to be cool to see, like, if Falcons can actually handle, even just mentally, the style of play that Outsiders brings, this like kind of slow pace. Because as we've touched on a number of times, what we saw yesterday from Falcons was there was no chill, there was no pause button, there was no like let's pull back to a more passive idea.
And we saw a little bit of that in the first half even here. But obviously now it could be way more dangerous.
It's not even either like the slow style of starting rounds, right? It's like when the initial contact is made and you're in like a 4-on-4 or a 4-on-3 and you're trying to shift across the map. Like Outsiders always leaving a lurker somewhere doing something. Ooh, Maka goes for the peek.
That could have worked out. That's not a bad idea.
No, it's not the worst thing in the world. Almost was there. Almost found the timing.
I appreciate that. 3 people down in CT spawn. It seems a little bit crazy. I mean, not quite. One of them is some on the catwalk, I think. But still, having this many people close to middle makes a little bit of sense in a pistol round because you're so dynamic where you can go, right? You got your whole army showing up. Got to be obviously a little bit careful, but I don't mind it.
I want to know what like Outsiders has spotted to shift into this mid to B split because they seem very convinced. And I mean, it's I guess in a way it's a correct call. Oh, that's a good jump up. They don't have a second smoke for it coming through. 1-for-1 trade. That's the bomb down. All the kills still going the way of Outsiders. 2-on-2.
Bombs in the middle.
2-on-2. One more kill for Maka. And oh dear, Norbert's got them both.
Oh man, I don't know if anyone knew on the CT side where the bomb was. If they did, there was about 20 seconds in that 2-on-2. They could have just held the bomb. They could have said, all right, let's fall back and just... But they might have never known.
It's also the style that we saw to them yesterday. Remember that game was like, once a fight begins, it does not stop. Everyone from Falcons is converging on the action and taking fights.
It's everything I associate with French Counter-Strike. So, you know, I guess I'll take it. 3 HEs on the Falcons side, but pistol round has been won by Outsiders. Maka trying to mess around with the nade there a little bit.
Yeah, you got nutmegged.
Scout in hand, though.
Scout in hand, though.
You do a lot with it.
Yeah, but no one's going mid or catwalk. Flit, Kickert, Jame, and Fame are all coming from Upper Dark. That was like Santa Claus's reindeer.
Yeah. It is about that time.
We're getting there.
I'm sure the Christmas music must have already started in the shopping mall. I don't know.
Usually like right after Halloween, so November.
Yeah, we don't really have... I mean, I guess we do. We imported Halloween, but we just start early. We just start in August. I don't know. Something like that.
Your kids TP your house and you hand out licorice?
Yeah.
Perfect.
That's how we keep them away.
Well, a long push. This is cool. Python and Maka. And Norbert's about to throw a piece of utility, so his position might be given up. This might allow Python to... Oh, nope. Spotted. One more. Check for it. Yep, you got it. Both the kills found. 5 on... And again, there's that slow style. And again, no pause button, remember. That's what we're most worried about, is just seeing Falcons not being patient enough to resist making those kinds of plays.
Yeah, and in this round particularly, maybe it's more forgivable because they have such bad weaponry that maybe you could say, all right, well, maybe that's one of the only ways to win the round. But in general, the problem is if you keep doing it, it's just going to be an issue. All right, that's a team kill. So a little bit denied on that one. NBK doing some damage. Oh dear, they've turned it around. Look at this. NBK and Masuta now in a 2-versus-1 Flit. It's a bomb on his back, but how does he get... He can't really plant it. I think he almost has to at least make this a one-on-one and try and fight them. There's one kill. Masuta down the middle and revealing himself as well. Smoke gonna go up, but the bomb will be planted on the other side with just 3 seconds left. You want to reload this? You got 15 bullets. That should be absolutely fine. Masuta Not challenging the smoke yet. Does have a smoke of his own. I don't think that's going to help him that much to try and get into the bomb site. And no head armor either on Misuta, so this AK is not going to be a big advantage at the moment. Flit, this Galil will do plenty of damage. Did he see the gun barrel? I don't think he did. There's the spray, and Flit will save the day. A good triple, a good 1 versus 2. But what a close round for Falcons.
Yeah, that got really deadly. Outsiders just keeps calling away from the action. They spotted 2 players at the A bomb site. They wanted to rotate back towards B. Just another player ready and waiting at the box to get a kill. Going out middle, gets shut down, flanked eventually. So, yeah, the first 2 players go down for free with aggression, but Falcons almost win a 3v5 with more aggression.
Yeah, with even more aggression.
Yeah.
Team kill in there as well, but yeah, that's unfortunate. Nice nice shot at it there from Misuta and Code. That could have worked out.
Yep. 12-5. Timeout called by Outsiders. They say, let's not do that one again. Let's not do that twice in a row.
Yeah, no reason to, is it?
Let's march towards a victory nice and easy. We're up 12-5. Let's get to 13-5, and let's just call this one an opening map. Falcons pick, and at a massive deficit.
We've had some pretty colossal upsets throughout the RMR here on the European side so far. I feel like this actually would qualify as a pretty huge upset if somehow Falcons managed to turn this into a victory. I'd be really shocked if they did.
This would be a crazy upset.
Yeah.
This would be like one huge upset just to end the road to Rio, right?
Yeah.
What a last match it would be. On the B stream, there's also OG for Heroic, taking on Heroic for seeding purposes. Falcons buy up into this. They want to start clawing back now. They like the way that they punished Outsiders in the previous round with 4 kills. They want to take all the money away from the T side, close the gap economically. But this will put them into a deep hole if they lose it.
It really will. That's a scout on the other side, by the way, not the AWP, obviously. So even if he's here and ready, James should be favored in that fight. I like this setup, though. 2 people. Famas trying to create one line that Kickert might just peek right into. Going to be close to the max, and that is a very, very shallow peek. And if they come here, hunt him, well, James is there.
Yeah, that setup, that one's a little bit better. That's a really nasty little jiggle peek. I have to imagine Misuta is so angry. Kickert going to come around the defensive smoke that's put up. 38 seconds on the clock, plenty of time, and Outsiders starting to lean towards the A bomb site, but so is the defense. Haji and Maka are going to be here. Line up in a setup at Railing and at Goose. There should be a Molotov for this position of Haji.
25 seconds here. A lot of other teams might be super stressed in this moment, might start to make some mistakes here, but Outsiders, this is kind of where they live and breathe. So deep breath here. 17 seconds peeking out, but the FAMAS behind the flash, it's not a bad idea. Mark is still slowing them down, but now they're in position to plant the bomb, and they clean it up with still 8 seconds to go, like it was nothing.
Yeah, nice and easy. I think actually, with that much time on the clock, I think Falcons might have been better off waiting in their position instead of getting aggressive. If that FAMAS is alive at Goose, and they're kind of coming into that crossfire with the scout over at Railing, there's a chance they can drop the bomb and put it down. Like, the Outsiders might be forced to go for a plant when where they don't really have everything clear and safe. But obviously, the kills forward actually gives them a great opportunity.
I mean, if you were Falcons and you were planning to play Outsiders, you almost need a protocol or a strategy or something that you've prepared for that kind of round, where you know, oh, hey, there's 15 seconds on the clock, but now they're coming up catwalk. What do we do? Is this where we have one last Molotov that they weren't expecting? Is this where we have some other kind of cool trick that we, that they're just not ready for? Because if you don't have it, then you might not stop them at all.
Oh, nice little opening tap. Immediate headshot. He spotted Maka as well. He's got teammates coming into lower dark, so I think he's just saying, look, we can. Well, I thought they would punish him a little bit heavier for that, but Outsiders is happy not to mess with any of the aggression. Happy with the 5-on-4. Defense converging towards middle. Flashbang up into the sky. There's going to be a player at double door and CT spawn for the moment. That's NBK with low HP.
Yeah, good little bit of safety throwing the flashbang before the people in lower dark peak. Don't really want to be skimping on anything. It's just a flashbang, $200. Just do it to save a potential teammate that would have run into a deagle bullet. It's always a good idea. James flashed off the corner, but doesn't matter. They can't hunt him down still. A lot of people here, and now come the retake of the catwalk. All right, they're making a fair bit of noise, but there's so many people out here that you have to assume Falcons are not going to be winning this fight. And now Molotov deep, so they try and break up the stack that's there. Make sure they can't just do it all at once. Masuts is feeling the pressure. There's someone there behind him, but actually all three people are there now. It's the entire setup for it, and they're just getting picked apart one at a time.
Yeah, they really are. But also, I mean, part of that is because Outsiders isn't actually like really committing to anything.
Yeah.
Right? They're like posturing like they're about to turn the corner and never actually do, which means Falcons is just running into them one by one. 2 rounds away, Outsiders from taking the opening map in the series.
And in a very comfortable fashion, 14-5. So, newcomer to the chat asking, can somebody tell me why the CTs are pushing? You want to help out, Jason? Why are the CTs pushing all the time?
You know, we touched on it. They're a little, they like to, you know, every once in a while, CTs like to get a little aggressive. This team seems to have a little bit more of that philosophy than most.
They're into it. They like it. That's the reason. Very, very hard team. Probably the hardest team in the world to play this kind of style against.
Yeah, it's a very, yeah, that's the other side of it is, this is like, even just knowing Outsiders, you would almost have to say, look, I know we like to get aggressive and pushy and get in their faces, but, you know, this is not the team to do it against.
Yeah, just maybe not. Python having himself a really rough game. He was crazy yesterday. He was actually so good, so it's a bit tough to see him start out this first map in an uncomfortable position. Map was picked by Falcons as well, so I'm sure they're not loving life at the moment. Flit has gone down, though. That is finally a good start for Falcons. If they want to build a road back into Dust 2, then it has to start right now. They're going to run out.
What's Outsiders going to drop into? They don't have a whole lot going for him. There's another kill from Maka, and this is what we touch on it with him. He likes to just be aggressive at all times. Spam through the door, James is tagged, and James going to finish him off. He's like, nah, I'm better.
Can't believe he actually hit that shot, though. That's pretty crazy. MBK, be careful now. So 3 versus 5 that could have just as well right then been turned into a 3-on-3 if MBK goes down.
Kickert's next up, though, and he's been so good with an AK-47. He's been hitting headshots all game long, starting on the CT side. If he actually goes for it, that'd be interesting. Does he lose his ult?
He might have.
How?
He saved it, Jason.
How did he lose
Permanently.
his ult? What did he...
He put it in cold, deep storage. I'm going to guess under... Can it fall under the car or outside of the wall?
Yeah, but why would he throw it to begin with?
Just
oh, there it is.
Okay.
Oh, he might have been looking for the AK.
I don't know what he was looking for.
I don't either.
But that is a saved ult.
That is a saved ult.
Saved.
We got there at the end of the day.
The birds or whatever is out there. Okay. Fine. It's all good. Don't worry about it. 14-6 here. And wow.
Oh, that's not fair. That's a beautiful bald head he just ripped off.
Yeah, looked like a well-maintained.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Someone's been keeping up the work.
Moisturize. It's not dried out. Couple days growth.
You should make an Instagram account or something that, with all the tips, you know.
Tips and tricks for bald maintenance. Okay, Flit should hear these footsteps. Sure.
It's the aggression again. Oh my god, and it works! He gets 2 kills. We're memeing about it, but it actually is working. Oh, it's crazy. Python should be dead here. I can't believe Flit isn't hearing it. I feel like both cases here. Outsiders. Where's the audio? Turn up the volume.
Yeah, I thought Flit would certainly be calling the whole way. Like, one's rushing catwalk, rushing top middle.
If he just had the rifle out, he gets that kill for free. And same is true with Maka on the other side. I'm genuinely confused.
Well, and then he gets up to catwalk, and it felt like he would have heard or seen that smoke coming at him and just wasn't prepared for the fight afterwards. Now, this is a cool play from Fame. Although his teammate's gone down, so at the end of the day, it won't really matter. He does get a free kill inside the B bomb site. Any economic damage, obviously, he can do would be wonderful.
I'm really confused about this. I really don't know what's going on.
That was strange. Maybe he was thinking it's so insane that he was like, "There's no way that's a CC." Like maybe I have a teammate doing something.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe that's just someone changing the plan.
It could, yeah, could be something like that. Real interesting. That's the kind of play that you would see maybe sometimes in an arena with a crowd of 10,000 people. Yeah. You'd say, okay, that's the noise and the energy in the room that's just going to drown out those small little things. But in this case, I would not expect it. So 14-7 going to be the scoreline. Fame saving an AK. Falcons going to be up to another round. It's real late in the day to be turning it around, but it's not impossible.
No, it's not impossible. You're going to have this continued kind of around from Python with 2 kills. Maka is, I mean, that kind of a rush up catwalk is obviously not going to work too frequently. So they have to be careful with how many times they employ like the hyper aggression that they just busted out here. But I'm so surprised. I'm almost surprised that Kickert even kind of swung into the Molotov in that fashion. Yeah, Flit like jumped up without even like really realizing it was happening.
It's like, what's going on?
He like only reacted after the first kill.
Someone in the chat said saving headphones. So stupid. Shut up, guys. Maka is going to be going down. Good flick! And Fitz is almost there to catch Haji. That's scary. Not the best start here. Again, Falcons are building a bit of a comeback and losing our man like this early on, especially against outsiders, because normally what you want to do if you're 4 and 5, but maybe not all the time, but one of the ways to get around back if you're on the CT side is actually, funnily enough, to try and be a little bit aggressive and sort of look for an opening. Yeah. You know outsiders are going to be prepared for it. They're going to be set up to wait.
Deep utility. Here's the aggression on catwalk. Python is coming. Outsiders is ready and waiting, but not ready. I take it back. James goes down on catwalk. He's jumping around with a nade in hand. He was not prepared. Flashbang up into the sky. Masuta's in trouble. He's going to be so blind, and he's going to be cleared out for free.
Yeah, that's a god flash in that moment. There's nothing you can do about it. MBK and Haji, 2 versus 4. Fame almost got sprayed down right then and there, but the bomb is going to get picked up and brought out long, where Norbert's already sort of cleared the path with the Tech-9. So, again, they have so much time on the clock here. Outsiders, they should be just slowly moving forward. They've left Kicker down in lower dark to make sure no one's rotating that way.
They have no smoke. I think, actually, this CT smoke that Falcons just threw actually helped them cross. That's a deep CT smoke on ramp that they're using to get space to peer up towards catwalk, but it's allowed a free crossover with the bomb.
MBK sneaking in, M4 in hand. Oh, but that Tech-9 is going to be beating him to it, and Fame will take down Haji from the pit, 15 to 7. Kickert is 17-7, 17-10, I believe, on who's that?
James.
I lost the scoreboard in the meantime. And Norbert up there at 19, so they've got a lot of people working well.
Yeah, I mean the spread on outsiders is 3 kills, right? 19 for Norbert at the top and 16 at the bottom for Flit and Fame. They're just killing it, and even the 16 is more than the top fragger on Falcons. So yeah, it's been a rough go, as we kind of all knew it was. That's why we kind of talked about this one as if it was going to be just a massive upset if Falcons is actually able to pull it off. And look what we have here. Surprise, surprise.
It wouldn't be more aggression, would it?
I like it. Fair play. I mean, if you're going to come into this as massive underdogs, and you might as well play exactly what got you here. Play the style that got you here. Go out swinging.
Sure. I mean, many other more recognizable teams have got knocked out already. So maybe you just say this is how we like to play. We're not going to change it from one day to the next anyway. Yeah. I mean, we're not going to talk them out of it, and we'll see. MBK. MP9 up on the box. Actually can be a very powerful position right here, but it is hard cleared by Fame. He was looking for that and that alone.
Yeah, that's not really reasonable. Nice shot from Maka on the cross. They have to go for this, remember. It is the final round if outsiders win it. Flit is going to challenge in lower dark. He's got 2 to deal with now with the Molotov fade. That's low HP. Haji falls. Python is up next, and Flit repositions, but can't handle the spray.
No, we can't. That's unfortunate here. 3 versus 3. Bomb freshly planted. They have some nades on the Falcons side, so maybe there's a chance to do something. Deep Molotov there, but no one's holding back Plat, so they're going to be fine for now. James, he's got the right crosshair set up for it, and an easy shot on Masutra, and that's a little bit of a problem. Taking down Python as well, and Maka late to the party. He's going to be dropped 16 to 7, as outsiders will bring down Falcons on their map pick of all things. That's a tough beginning to the series.
Yeah, a huge run in the first half as well from outsiders. They just showed their class. That's just solid gameplay, nothing crazy. They just played fundamental Counter-Strike and able to outlast all the aggression once we switch sides. So Falcon's going to take a break, talk things over, go over their game plan for map number 2, and then we'll be right back to see what it is.